Okay, I know from the jump. I mean, you kind of connect these two and you're like, huh? What? Why would you want to expose your good young guys who seem to have really good character to a guy like Evander Kane who could come in there and tear that dressing room apart? I understand that, okay? And honestly, I'm not exactly necessarily saying that they should go out and sign. I'm saying that maybe they should explore it just to see what it's about. And I want to get kind of a pulse from Habs fans and see what you guys think about this as a possibility, because I know that the first thought going through a bunch of Habs fans after they look at the character issues with Evander Kane would be, wait, aren't we going through a rebuild right now? And I get that. And I know a lot of people in the comments are saying this is going to be a good long rebuild that's going to make us contenders for years and years and years, and that's very possible. But I've seen it happen way too many. Look at the Rangers right now, okay? Look at, in 2015, my Calgary Flames. Okay, I'll tell you that much. That was supposed to be the year where we tanked for McDavid, and we ended up making it to the second round of the playoffs. So that was with a team that was just garbage. Like Dennis Wideman and Chris Russell was the first pairing on defense, okay? So that was not a good team. And these rebuilds, they can happen way quicker than you think. Especially if you get a guy who has been an all-world goaltender in the past, best in the world in Carey Price. If he comes back and is healthy, that changes the game. Jake Allen is also a solid goaltender, which rebuilding teams don't usually have, okay? And then up front, they already have five-star talent in Nick Suzuki, Cole Caufield, and most likely Shane Wright coming down the pipe real quick here. There's some good prospects. There's some good veterans like Gallagher, okay? Like, this team, I'm not saying they could make a run to the Cup final again, but I'm saying that they might make the playoffs sooner than you think. Okay, they could really make some noise quicker. And if it is determined, like, okay, in 2016, the Habs finished very, very, very low, okay? That's the year they went out and drafted Mikhail Sergachev at 9th overall. Not all the people were saying rebuild, rebuild, rebuild. That's the year they traded PK, okay? They signed Alexander Radulov. And in the 2017 playoffs, guess who was there in the first round against the Rangers, the Montreal Canadiens? And they gave the Rangers, who were a good team back then, a really good fight. So all I'm saying is, like, yes, this could end up being a rebuild where the Habs don't make the playoffs for a couple of years, or it could end up being like in 2016-17, or it could end up being in 2018-19 where the Habs were just a hair from making the playoffs. They were like 2 points out. I think Columbus beat them out. Max Domi had a great year that year. What I'm saying is you don't know, especially when you have top-tier talent here. It would make sense, and Evander Kane could be the Radulov of this team. Like what Radulov was in 16-17, if you get a guy like Evander Kane, maybe it's that. Now, if it's a big dollar figure for a long term, you do not sign that. Like if you're considering 7 years, it's $7 million. No, okay, we're not doing that, obviously. And he's getting up there in the tooth and age, okay? He's not 21 years old. But the thing with Evander Kane is I don't think a lot of teams are going to be willing to sign him to a long-term deal. And not because of his production. Okay, if it's based on production and on-ice play, yes, teams would be lining up to sign this guy up for 7 years. But you cannot trust this guy under contract. You can't trust what he's going to do off the ice. He could do something in 2 years that makes you want to burn that contract in a campfire. Seriously, it doesn't make sense. Teams are not going to be doing that, I think. I think the most he'll get is like 3 years, maybe 4 if somebody's crazy. So if the Habs can sign this guy for 2 or 3 years, they're clearing up cap space. There's rumblings of Shea Weber trades, who's on LTIR. Jeff Petrie would get some more money off the books. Jonathan Drouin would get some more money off the books. Like, they could do this for a player who would be extremely productive for them. And I know the character issues are always going to be a problem, but if you're looking at production and if Ken Hughes decides, hey, you know what? We could make a run at the playoffs here and try to get in and keep our retool or rebuild intact. Like, you don't have to blow up the team and sacrifice all of your first round picks and everything. Like, you don't have to go for rentals and blow up your entire rebuild for one playoff run. What I'm saying is you might be able to have your cake and eat it too, especially if you get Evander at 2 or 3 years. Okay, this could be something that the Habs could rebuild and make the playoffs at the same time. Now, would that be so bad, Habs fans? Truly, I think this team has the talent for it. Yes, the defense is rather weak, but there's prospects coming down the pipeline. There's rumors of signing guys like Chris Letang in free agency, so it's a possibility. It could very well happen, and I'm very, very interested to see what the Montreal Canadiens are going to do here, because if they do decide they want to go for the playoffs this year, then they could honestly maybe make a pitch to Evander Kane. We'll see what happens. Let me know if you guys want it in the comments down below. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.